I remember I interviewed Tony Yayo, and he was saying how he was at his parents' house, and his dad started to have a heart attack, and he just paused because he couldn't bring himself to call 911. But luckily, there was someone there that just grabbed the phone and was like,
It was.
you know,
I had a
and
situation
it's not
like
like
that.
he was trying to let his dad die,
Yeah,
but it's just like
it's the cops.
he's just so ingrained not to call the police for anything.
I come home from prison. I was out about 8 months. I'm just like 3 in the morning. I come home. I see a little kid walking down the street, about 2 years old, a white kid. It's about 2 or 3 in the morning with a bottle. The bottle empty. And the first thing I said was, "Man, I'm not fucking with that kid, that white kid, man. I'm good locked up." Like I started thinking, and I said, "Oh, this is a kid." Like I mean, but that's how you program. Like I mean, like you know, like man, you feel like you're gonna get blamed, you're gonna get. But I caught the kid right. He not crying or nothing. I pick him up like, yo, who? So I knocked on a few doors. Nobody answers like 3 in the morning. So the cops happened to be riding past. I flagged the cop down, you know, and I was like, I was so nervous, like, what the fuck he gonna say? Where did you get this kid from? I said, man, like, but I like, this kid might get hit. Mind you, the kid wasn't crying and not walking around with a pamper on.
I would have done the same.
I mean, but it's like, still for me, it was like kind of like iffy. Like, I'm on parole. They can say, well, I mean, who knows what the fuck?
Kidnapping.
That's what I'm saying. So like, but I said, but being a father, I was like, man, I can't let this kid walk down, keep walking down. Then the mom come out like 30 minutes later screaming, ah! I said, I mean, the cops already took the kid. I mean, but like, I'm just saying, the cops, first thing I thought, man, the cops gonna try to see. I mean, it's just like, it's so crazy how the cops do you, man. I mean, you got the brown skin. You saw the cops kill that lady in the house.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so so you be the cops, like, you almost more scared to call the cops than anything else.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it is, man.
Because then, if you can't call the cops, then you start to feel like you have to handle it yourself.
I mean,
which then puts you into a situation where you might be doing a crime, at least from the law's point of view.
Yeah, but that's how I go anyway in the hood. Like, you got to take care of everything yourself, because at the end of the day, the cops want you, even if you're the victim, they want you locked up too. Like, they want to find a way for you to be in prison too. Like, and it's so crazy because people don't believe it. They like, man, that can't be true. You got to be doing something. No, if you look at my videos, like, I'm in the car, not minding my business, the car not parked. Not open once. And the second time video, there's 10 cops around me. I was reading a book about
10 cops.
I got on video.
To do what?
They tell me to get out the car. Like, I was driving them when the Stingray Corvettes first came out. I had bought one. I mean, the cops don't. If you got a nice car, they don't like that shit at all. You gotta have nerve to have a nice car. Get the fuck out. I mean, it's the craziest shit. But a person that don't experience that will never know what it's like. I mean, it's like, oh, even when you're not doing nothing wrong, you see the cops, you just start you feel nervous, like. You know what I mean? Like, because, the cops can say anything, and the cops' word against yours, they don't believe they were every time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, another thing I heard from the same person who told me about the whole Jay taking Aaliyah to a wedding thing was that Jay got tired of not being on the Forbes list every year because he was splitting his money 3 ways.
Really?
And that was some of the motivation where he was like, listen, I just need to get rid of these 2 other guys and just have, everything come through me.
I mean, whoever that is must be like really like. I mean,
I mean, these sound like very specific conversations, right? I mean, I'm not making this up. I'm not going to say who it is, but
I mean,
if I ever tell you, you'll be like, oh yeah, he.
I mean, I could believe it, because Jay-Z seemed like he was chasing the title to be, have money. Like,
He was trying to being on a Forbes list is a big deal if that's where you're kind of on the cusp.
Yeah, it's a big deal, but I think it's stuff that's way more important than that. You know what I mean?
I agree, but Jay likes those titles.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? You need those titles when you're missing something. You need those titles. Like, I would never need that type of title. You know what I mean?